What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. And we are back here for another one. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week thus far. Thursday night football, that is actually a pretty good one between the Chargers and the Chiefs is about to get underway. Um, I wanted to do this show this week because, quite frankly, with everything I have lined up next week, I'm not going to have any time to do this show next week. And for all of you that have been around for, since the inception of this channel, we did the same theme show last year. So I'll be opening it up to you guys. I want to hear what you guys, I shouldn't have to say this, but I will say it. It's besides the obvious of like a playoff berth. I mean, we all want a playoff berth, like, you know what I mean? Let's let's be a little unique with your answers tonight. You know what I mean? So and I'll give my answer too. If anyone saw my show yesterday with Richmond and Neil, you already pretty much know what my answer is going to be. But I'll give it again for those that missed yesterday's show. But before we get into that, I do have a couple things that I want to go over. I got some news and notes from today. Obviously, COVID has continued to impact the Miami Dolphins at a substantial rate as each day passes by. Now Jaylen Waddle has been affected. He's on the COVID list. Jared Doaks has also been put on the reserve list. They've made some corresponding moves, so we'll get into all of that. And then I want to just break down. Someone put together a chart based on a point system from ESPN's pass block win rate, as well as PFF's analytics, and they ranked every offensive line in the NFL. And I just want to show everyone what that chart looks like, because for some reason there still seems to be people out there that are defending the offensive line. I guess they can't put it together that Tua's quick release and them scheming to have the ball out in 2.3 seconds is going to alleviate pressure right away. So the fact you're still managing 7 or 8 pressures and you're getting the ball out in 2.3 seconds, that still should be worrisome. Like, you should be down to like 2 or 3 maximum. So, but they're not. So yeah, I'll open it up for a bit. But like I said before, we get into that. Let's get into the Jaylen Waddle stuff. And obviously, we're gonna go over an article from Barry Jackson. It just summarizes everything instead of me having to jump around from Twitter feed to Twitter feed, because also there was some changes to the COVID rules. There were some changes to the COVID rules, so um, that's also encapsulated inside of the article we're gonna read. Z-Man, I have no idea what you're talking about. I actually haven't seen anything. So, um, yeah. So it's going to talk about that. It's going to talk about the corresponding roster moves. It's just easier for me instead of jumping around from Twitter feed to Twitter feed. So let's get ready. Let's hop into that, and then we're going to hop into the offensive line rankings that I was talking about. I wanted to show you guys. I was going to have it for tomorrow's show, but instead I'm just going to do it tonight. All right. First of all, let's start with this. Um, this is close that bad boy down. This is a Barry Jackson article, and this is a 6-pack of notes. He said the Dolphins know 14 of the 17 opponents for 2022 in the schedule. While hardly easy, doesn't appear too treacherous. Besides the usual home and road games against the Jets, Patriots, and Bills, the Dolphins also have home games against Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Minnesota, and an AFC South team to be determined. Besides the AFC East opponents, Miami's road games in 2022 include dates at Baltimore, Chicago, Cincinnati, Detroit, an AFC West team, and an NFC West team, which are to be determined. Um, ooh, if Baltimore and Chicago and Cincinnati are in like December or like end of November, December, that's gonna suck. The opponents to be determined are the ones who finish in the same spot in the division as the Dolphins. Miami currently stands third in the AFC East. So their schedule is starting to come together. You can already see, obviously, we're going to play the division. 6 games are going to be taken up against our division rivals. But then at home, we got the Browns, the Steelers, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, if he stays, or Jordan Love, the Vikings, and an AFC South team to be determined. which obviously that AFC South team is going to be um, whatever team finishes the same spot Miami does in the AFC East. Whatever, if Miami finishes third, it'll be the number 3 AFC South team. And then Miami's road games, like they said, we got to go to the Ravens, the Bears, Cincinnati. Those could be cold weather destinations. Detroit's indoors, so we're good. AFC West, hope for a warm place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Obviously a Chargers matchup would everyone would want to see, or the Raiders or something like that. And then NFC West again, warm or indoors. If you got Arizona, you're indoors. If you go to the Rams, you're warm. So we'll see how that all works out. But their schedule's starting to come together. 14 of the 17 have been determined in terms of opponents. Now, Brandon Jones, remember, um, this came up recently. I don't know whether it's here or when I was on that panel on T Finstock, but the elbow injury that sidelined him and an ankle injury, which we didn't know about. I just know about the ankle injury was previous. The elbow injury was new. So they both healed. He says he feels really good. If Javon Holland isn't clear to return from COVID list by 4 p.m. Saturday, then Jones and Eric Rowe likely will be your starting safety tandem. So that answers that question. Um, Missing Holland would be tough because of how vocal he is and a great communicator, Jones says. That'll be pretty hard to replace. All right. As of Thursday morning, the NFL rule was that, and pay attention, the NFL rule was that Holland and other vaccinated players who test positive could play on Sunday only if they produce 2 negative tests spaced 24 hours apart by mid-afternoon Saturday. They don't have symptoms. But the NFL released new COVID rules Thursday afternoon that could allow asymptomatic players who test positive to return as quickly as a day after testing positive if they get a single negative test and a negative rapid result test. So they still technically need 2 negatives, right? A rapid result and a negative normal test. On Thursday, practice squad running back Jared Doaks became the 6th Dolphins player on the COVID list, joining Gaskin, Jaylen Waddle, Javon Holland, Salvon Ahmed, and Philip Lindsay. Running back Jordan Scarlett joined the team's practice squad. I mean, at least we're bringing back a guy who has some familiarity with the playbook and not some random scrub off the street with Scarlett. And Scarlett can surprise. I actually don't mind that. I actually want to see. I would actually prefer Scarlett gets reps instead of Malcolm Brown. Don't sleep on Scarlett, man. And he can offer you special teams play too. That's what Scarlett's good at. Scarlett's a very good special teams player. Austin Jackson was limited Thursday with an illness. So was Clayton Fledgulum. He had an ankle injury. Hunter Long illness, and Adam Shaheen also remained limited. With COVID spreading swiftly, neither the Dolphins coaching staff nor players appear ready to encourage or instruct each other to mostly stay at home for the next month. And I'm not sure that would be permitted without union approval, anyways. Jones said he's getting tested a lot more frequently, more than the 1 weekly test required for vaccinated players. And I've been pretty responsible and smart about everything. As receiver Isaiah Ford put it, we know what's at stake. We want to keep each other as safe as possible. The 6 Dolphins who tested positive in the past week are quarantining in the hotel, dealing with that life, left tackle Liam Eichenberg said. So there you go. The Dolphins moved themselves into advanced COVID protocols today, meaning team meetings are conducted virtually instead of in person. Eichenberg said there's one negative with that. On the computer, there's a chance guys might not be paying as much attention. But in person, you can actually show people how to do things better. Uh-oh. Eichenberg having learning issues. That's not good, especially where he's already shown. In his bye week media session last week, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa appeared the most relaxed he ever has been as a Dolphin. It reminded me of the easygoing, unburdened demeanor that Tagovailoa displayed when I interviewed him on South Beach before the February 2020 Super Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium. Tagovailoa shared some personal information last week. He has never been to a MLB game, but has attended 2 NBA games, a Heat game and a San Antonio Spurs game. Were you at EM when he played in the U.S. Army All-American game? He has attended one Panthers game, which he enjoyed because it's cold. I don't like being hot. That's hilarious. He said he hasn't gone to an Inter Miami game, but I might have a better chance of going to those games and not being recognized because everyone is so much more focused on the soccer players. It might be more enjoyable to go to those games. So he doesn't like being recognized. I just want to to enjoy watching the game. I don't go out as much. The reason I don't is because of that. But he said every time my mom is in town, I go out to Winn-Dixie near my house. I get my mom flowers every time she's in town. So do a lot of people approach him? No, I wear a hoodie, wear a mask and glasses. The cool thing about Miami is that there are a lot of celebrities out there. It's almost like nonchalant. Uh, they see you like, oh, that's Tua. Let's go eat Subway. What gives him more satisfaction, nailing a golf shot or connecting on a perfect pass? It depends. Is a perfect pass a touchdown? And is the hit going in the hole? I'd take them both if I could. To me, there's nothing more better than maybe hitting your 8 iron 160 yards out and you see it land on the green and it starts rolling and it disappears. During the media session on Wednesday, tongue of a lower minded and upbeat mood, nothing. He got dosed by a couple of old guys in pickleball and that he got to golf and go to some games during the bye weekend. With Jakeem Grant traded to Chicago earlier this season, Waddle and Holland on COVID list. Dolphins have nobody on the 53-man roster who has returned a punt this season. I didn't even realize that. Albert Wilson is the only player on the 53-man roster who has returned a kickoff in 2021, and he returned only one. Players with experience as returners who are options for those roles on Sunday include Wilson, Preston, Isaiah Ford, and Noah Igbinoghene, a.k.a. Noah Inactivity. There you go, Noah. Here's your chance to shine, kid. Show them why they took you at the end of the first. Go out there and return a kickoff and a punt for 5 yards. I ain't expecting a touchdown from him. But listen, this whole I know it's controversial, the whole how they've now basically changed the whole testing protocol where if you give me a single normal test negative and then you give me a rapid test negative, how they're going to, let you come back within the first, 24 hours if you do that. Um, as a human being, that's kind of shady. As a football fan, I need them dubs right now. So I'm in that conflict. Where do I go here? Like, and here's the thing. The players are clearly okay with it because guess what? The NFLPA signed off on that. That was not just strictly the NFL. That had been talked about the last 48 hours, and it was all about the NFLPA and the NFL wanting to get okayed by the the government, health officials and stuff like that. They were looking for okays with health officials. So the NFLPA signed out on this. So if the NFL was mandating it on them and the NFLPA didn't sign off, okay, I get it. But the NFLPA signed off on it. And I mean, you kind of, hey, it's one of those things. If you're going to go jump on my trampoline in my backyard and I don't know you, and I just happen to have a disclaimer there, I'm going to make you sign that piece of paper saying if any injury, anything happens, that's a result of your conduct. I'm not held liable. That's the same thing that happens when the NFLPA signs off. The NFL is no longer liable because the union signed off. So kind of you can kind of look at it as shady movement, but you got to include the players in that too, because clearly the players are saying, I'm telling you what right now what's happening. And I'm not talking about the Dolphins specifically. I'm talking about players. Think about if you are on the Chargers right now, or if you're on the Patriots, bro. You're gonna sign off on that. You're gonna sign off on that. You want to make a Super Bowl run. You're gonna sign off on that 110%. You don't want to pause or a shutdown or anything to affect the chance that you might have. It's not just about the NFL making money. These players that are in positions with winning records right now, you think they don't want to win? They get bonuses when they hit the playoffs. Some of these guys got certain bonuses in their and then they got bonuses that they need to reach by the end of the season. They don't want that, like Waddle, man. Man, if I'm Waddle, I'm signing off on that. I'm trying to break Bolden's record. I'm not trying to miss a game. Hopefully he's good, man. Like I like you just need to say 3 Hail Marys and sip some wine and eat some little body of Christ because we need Waddle. I I spoke it into existence and I shouldn't have spoken into existence. I shouldn't have said anything, but I kept pushing it on different platforms. What's gonna happen? I pushed it on my audio podcast. I pushed it on here. I think I said on TD's channel too. What's gonna happen when someone takes Waddle away from this offense? Because if it ain't gonna happen in the next 3 games, I said it was gonna. Bill Belichick was gonna do it. I just didn't know that it was gonna be against the Jets and the defensive coordinator that was gonna solve Waddle was gonna be COVID. But here we are. Here we are. Um, D Dub. Hey man, Marshall Falk, Ricky Williams, Ricky Morris, Roger Craig, all those guys you named. There's not many guys like them. They're all one of a kind guys, right? So, um, you can't really, give me one of those guys too. But those guys were special for a reason because they were one of a kind. If you're gonna start going those names, I would take Ricky out of that whole bunch you just said. By the way, so everyone's saying the Chargers are 31st rushing the football right now in the NFL. Let me double check that. The Chargers are man, honestly, I can't wait till that Saints game. I'm just letting y'all know. The Chargers are 21st rushing the football in the NFL. They average 104.9 yards per game. The Chargers are 21st rushing the football. They are not 31st. Like I said, they average 104.9 yards per game. So whoever was saying, now stopping the run, they're 31st. They allow 140.7 yards per game. Defensively, the Chargers are 31st against the run. The Dolphins, I think Dylan's right. The Dolphins are 31st. They average 72 yards per game. Yeah, no, 79.2 yards per game. Yeah. Dude, the Chargers average 61 more yards per game rushing the football than the Miami Dolphins. Think about that for a second. Oh my God. That is ridiculous. Think about that for a second right now. Think about that. 61 more yards a game. Like, that's ridiculous right now. But anyways, yeah, the Chargers 31st defense. In the rushing defense in the NFL. All right, now Woo back. Miami is 31st in the NFL in rushing. They average 79.2 yards per game. They're 21st. They average like 100 and what did I say? 100 and what was that? 104. What did I say? They averaged. The Chargers as a rushing offense. Yeah, they average. Oh, sorry, they average 104 yards per game. What am I on? They allow 140 per game. So they average like almost 30 yards a game more than us, but they're 21st. So, all right. Now, all that said, let's go ahead. Let's get in. I wanted to show this off to you guys. I saw this and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. So, check this one out. The Miami Dolphins. Someone combined the pass block win rate and PFF's analytics, and they went by a point system, right? So PFF 100 and ESPN, and then they averaged out the two, right? So they took 192, got 97, 99, 68, got 89. All right. So the Dolphins scored zeros across the board. Okay. Like, that is brutal. Ouch. Like, wow. How do you manage to put up Krispy Kremes? That is like the definition of you are bad. Ho, 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 ho. Joseph, what are you saying? Watson has warrants now? What are you talking about? What is this? I haven't heard this at all. Let me see this. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Fact check. Oh, snap diggity do. Oh, snap dog. Whoo. Oh, my. Oh, boy. I didn't even see that. Okay, first of all, let's get this out of the way. We all know what this is. We suck on the offensive line. Anyone trying to tell you the offensive line is good is whack. Okay, Lee Meikenberg and Jesse Davis each have 51 pressures allowed. That's 102 pressures between them. Austin Jackson has 43. These are three of the top 5 in pressures allowed. Between the three of them, they have 145 pressures allowed. Guys, okay. They have 145 pressures between Eichenberg, Jackson, and Davis. All right. Just so you know. Okay, let's look at the Rams, right? The Rams are considered the number one pass. They're the number one offensive line, technically, right? They've only allowed 107 pressures. A whole team. The most a lineman has allowed is 23 pressures on the Rams. Okay? Just to put it in perspective. Let's go to Tampa Bay for a sec here. Tampa Bay, because they're number 2. Let's just keep rolling here for a second. So Tampa Bay, in total of pressures allowed right now this year. So again, Alex Kappa has allowed 23. Donovan Smith, they've allowed 103 pressures. Okay, so the top 2 teams have allowed 107 and 103 pressures. Okay, Eichenberg, the whole Tampa Bay Buccaneers team has allowed one more pressure than Austin Jackson. Sorry, than Jesse Davis and Liam Eichenberg combined. Let that sink in. All right. It's bad. Okay, we're gonna get into the Watson thing because I just saw this. All right. But yeah, just for context, you see, like, it's brutal right now. Anyone trying to tell you any different, they're lying to themselves. All right. And yet, here's the facts. Speaking of PFF, I don't know if you guys saw it. When Tua is kept clean, he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, according to PFF. I'm just telling y'all what PFF said. All right, that's according to PFF. Don't shoot the messenger. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean here. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm not lying to you, because I would never. And y'all remember last year how deadly he was, from the pocket. Oh yeah, it was kept clean, right? It's sorry, when he's kept clean. Uh didn't highlight it. That's why all right. All right, here you go. Just so you know I'm not lying to you. I found it. Tua Tagovailoa has a 77.3 completion percentage when kept clean in the pocket. That's the best in the NFL via PFF. And this was 3 days ago. So it's as of this week. This is not an old stat. So bad offensive line. Keep the guy clean. And guess what? Look at what you get. A 77.3 completion percentage. All right. Deshaun Watson thing. I didn't think I'd be covering this, but I guess I'm covering this. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is just to keep everyone updated, I guess. Search warrants for Deshaun Watson's IG, Cash App accounts give more sorted details of alleged interactions between accusers and Texans quarterback. KPRC2 investigates, has obtained several search warrants approved by a judge to collect data from Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson's social media accounts, primarily Instagram and Cash App. The warrants, which were signed off on in October, were to aid in the investigation against Watson, who's being accused by 22 women of inappropriate sexual conduct during massage or therapy sessions. It's important to note that Watson has not been charged with any criminal offense. However, the warrants indicate Houston police are requesting information as part of a criminal investigation into indecent assault. An 18-year veteran investigator with the Houston Police Department's Adult Sex Crimes Unit detailed her findings, which are listed in the search warrant documents. According to the warrant, beginning in March 2021, several adult women made an outcry alleging they were sexually assaulted and or indecent assault victims of Deshaun Watson. The majority of his accusers reside in Houston. Most of the women stated they were initially contacted by Watson via Instagram for massages. His method of payments was typically Cash App. The warrants detail accounts from 9 women accusing Watson of similar misconduct. The investigator confirmed that all the women were either licensed massage therapists or provided specialized services that focus on body conditioning or body wellness therapy, including stretching, body scrubbing, body contouring, and skin treatments. The women were all in legitimate practices, and the majority of them advertised their businesses using social media platforms like Instagram. There were also some alleged victims who came into contact with Watson through referrals or assignments through their workplace. Some of the women told investigators messages were not part of their services and claimed they told Watson when he reached out to them. I think they might have meant massages. According to documents, one alleged victim shared that she had a scheduled appointment with Watson at a private residence on March 30th, 2020. She said when he arrived, he told her he wanted to drape himself with a towel he brought instead of the sheet she was providing. The woman said Watson requested that she not use her knuckles, forearms, or elbows, and wanted her to only use her hands and to massage his groin area, documents state. The woman went on to claim Watson pulled out his phone with a picture of an anatomy of a leg to show her what particular area he wanted her to massage. The woman said when she rolled Watson over to begin on the requested area, he jerked his body, causing his towel to fall, exposing himself. The woman said she immediately covered him back up. The woman claims that Watson wanted to go lower, and his private part allegedly touched her hand. The woman claimed that she ended the session and asked him to leave. She said Watson paid her via Cash App and later sent a text message apologizing. Another alleged victim who worked at a spa said Watson came to her business for a scheduled session on October 8th, 2020. According to documents in that session, Watson also told the massage therapist that he wanted his lower legs massaged during the session, asked her to touch his private area. He also asked her to massage his entire rear end, inside and outside. The woman said when she tried to cover his naked body, he would not let her and asked her to grab his private area. After the session, the woman and her boss who scheduled the appointment were both paid through Cash App. Documents give details of another licensed massage therapist who shared what allegedly happened to her several sessions with Watson in September and October 2019. She said in the first session, Watson exposed himself. In the second session, he went further by asking her to massage the area between his front private and buttocks, aka the chota. So this guy wanted the chode job. This guy wanted the chode rub. I don't, boy. What kind of balls? Well, what kind of chode area does he have to ask for that, huh? In the third session. Oh my god, this guy. Well, guilty or not, we know he's a freak a leak. All the power to him. In the third session, the woman claims Watson told her he wanted to end with sexual intercourse. He paid for all the sessions with CashApp. Interesting that she didn't say whether they actually did end it, the sexual intercourse. The documents list more descriptive details of alleged incidents between Watson and other accusers. Through the search warrants, investigators have assessed chat logs from Watson's social media messages, searches, and other correspondence. They also used Cash App records to match the payments with the dates of the incidents of the claim. That warrant also allows investigators to access transaction history, IP addresses, account holder records, etc. The range of the warrants are from September 2019 through January 2021, which spans the timeline of when the alleged incidents with the women occurred. Over the last year, Watson's activities have been both controversial on and off the field. The quarterback has been very vocal about his wishes to be traded from the Texans. I mean, I don't know what's controversial about wanting to leave Houston. I'd want to leave Houston after they got rid of everyone. And although he's listed on the active roster, he's not played any games this season. Rusty Hardin, that is his lawyer, sent the following statement in response to the search warrants. These allegations were put in a search warrant in order for law enforcement to be authorized to obtain records that we would have made available for them if only asked. I am totally confident saying whatever allegations there are said about Deshaun being improper and illegal in any of these massages are simply not true, whatever they are. So they have obtained search warrants and they're digging deeper. Shout out to Samuel with the 1999 super sticker. I appreciate it, man. Personally, they would have done it anyways. I don't view this as like, or there's nothing earth shattering there. They told you that they obtained records and they're trying to match Cash App with dates of alleged incidences. That's like nothing earth shattering. So, I mean, whatever. They would have done that anyways. You know, they're setting up to make their case so he can get indicted. Whether he will be indicted or not, that's up to him. Sloppy, man. The guy left like it's just sloppy, man. Sloppy. And I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Whether you want Watson or you don't want Watson, it's all gonna be a moot point if he gets indicted. If he gets indicted, it's over. Like he's not gonna be a Dolphin at least this year. But so, I mean, what's going on, Samuel? How you doing, brother? Um, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not really blown away by that. I mean, they're looking. I mean, we already knew a lot of these girls had already come out that they met him through Instagram or that's where the correspondence happened. Obviously, they're gonna like get search warrants so they can get access to that, right? They got to see who's lying and who doesn't. So, but if he gets indicted, it's a wrap. Good night. Enjoy it because it's over. Um, this is I don't care whether you want to or whether you want to keep two or whether you don't want to keep two. It don't matter. This guy gets indicted, it's a wrap, and they're not going to draft one of the quarterbacks in this class because there's no prospect in this class. They're not going to start over. The whole appealing thing to them about Watson is he's a more finished product out of the box, not just the traits. Like they think he's more, whether they're right or wrong, they think he's more developed and he's further along, right? So, I mean, I would say he's at a different stage in his career for sure. He's played a lot more games into it, right? So, and he's got playoff experience. So, I mean, I get it, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. This thing is a total mess right now. Um, for this to be realistic, he's going to have to not get indicted in January and before the new league year starts in March, this man is going to have to get all of his stuff settled in terms of civil cases. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, Stephen Ross has already given the impression that, yeah, I'm intrigued by Watson, but I'm only intrigued if a lot of this stuff is settled. So we'll see how it goes and how it plays out. I mean, just like the rest of the season, got to let it play out. Just got to continue the growth and development of Tua and focus on Tua because You know, at the end of the day, Sean Watson's a hypothetical. At the end of the day, he's not in the aqua and orange. All right. Right now, we got who we got. We're rolling with who we got. And, you know, the perfect scenario for everyone in this situation, fans included, would be Tua continues growing. Tua is a major contributor down the stretch. Tua shows this staff he's worth investing in, and they move forward with that based on assets, both financial and draft capital wise. That's the best move for everyone. Okay, that's just it. And that doesn't come down to, that's no bias. That's no, personal feelings for either or player, Tua or Deshaun Watson. That's just the cold hard truth. The best scenario is Tua works out, because we get to spend all that money on deficient areas right now, and we get to use that draft capital over the next couple of years. So that's just the reality of the situation, man. So, all right, I'm going to open it up, and I want to hear what you guys have to say in terms of, what you guys would want under the Christmas tree. But before I do, I'm going to tell you guys what I would want. And before I do that, if you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. Become a Finside the NFL Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. You can also become a channel member. You get early access to my film studies. I know I'm going to do the Jaylen Waddle film study at the end of the season. I'm going to try and figure out a video that I might actually just make Patreon and member only, and not even post it for all of you guys. Just make it a Patreon and members only video. I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to do that by the beginning of the new year. So also with Patreon, you get mod access. With membership, you will get by YouTube channel membership access. You'll get access to the emojis and all that kind of stuff. So either hit that join button, by the subscribe button down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Finside the NFL to become a YouTube channel member and to become a Patreon. Both links are in the video description down below. Patchvibes.com, use code Finside, save 20% off your order. Shout out to patchvibes.com, backroomcollection.net. I mean, hey, they got great stuff. You already know what time it is. Go check them out. They got some autograph stuff. They got a really nice Dan Marino canvas that just came out. Go peeps it. ThriveFantasy.com. Use code Finside. Have every dollar up to your first 100 deposited matched. Okay, here's where I'm at. Let's get into this. So with me, the thing that I want under the tree, and I alluded to yesterday when I had Richmond Webb and when I had Neil Driscoll on, is I want us to go into, now it might have changed for some people. Now they might be saying you want them to all be cured of COVID. That would make sense. But what I want is, I want us to go into New Orleans 7-7, and I want us to come out 8-7 with the victory, and Tua as a major contributor to that victory. Now I want to preface this too. This is also, guys, forget playoffs. Playoffs is not included. Everyone wants playoffs. So that's not part of this scenario. Okay. This is strictly about what you want, and make it realistic. Like, you can even throw a draft pick in there. If you wanted to draft someone, throw that in there. Knock yourself out. That's cool. But what I'm talking about is, I think after starting 1-7, no one would have seen that coming. Doing it in front of the national audience and in front of, the mainstream media, this is all they'll be watching on Monday night and a couple days after Christmas. Beautiful. So that's what I'm looking for. And then whatever may be in the final two games. Tennessee with the cold weather, and then the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL, the Patriots, coming into our house in the final week. The last 2 weeks of the season are going to be tough, man. They are not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. So that's where I'm at. I 8-7, Tua is a major contributor coming out of Monday Night Football. Like, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that Monday night game. Now I know I'm looking past the Jets, but even with what we have out, I still think we're going to beat the Jets. I'm not too worried. So I'm going to open up to you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts, what you'd want um, under the Christmas tree from the Miami Dolphins this year. Um, Let me drop that link for you guys. See y'all talking about Spider-Man in the chats. Um, I'm going to see it tomorrow at 3:40. So I couldn't even get tickets at night. It was ridiculous, and trying to lock down a babysitter was absolutely bonkers, man. So I'm actually going to check Spider-Man out tomorrow at 3:40, and I know people are talking about whether Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in it. From what I've heard, they're in it. So um I'm going to see that tomorrow. I cannot wait. I'm so hyped for that. I'm almost done all the DLC on Spider-Man Remastered. I played through the main campaign, and I've already finished almost all the DLC. And then I'm going to kick off Miles Morales because I haven't played Miles Morales yet. So, but 3:40, it's weird, man. Because usually when I go at night, I want all the candy and the popcorn and stuff like that. But like, at like 3:40, what do you? I'm not going to go out there and while out and start eating like, pounds and pounds of M&M peanuts and such. So. Um, I can't wait, man. I'm so hyped for this movie tomorrow. Because honestly, Eternals and Shang-Chi were disappointments for me. I think so far this new phase, other than Hawkeye, has been kind of a letdown. I'm just throwing it out there. Z man, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? What's going on? How you
So
doing, Reason?
not too bad, man. If you could have one thing under that Christmas tree, what would it be this year?
It's only for this year, or it can be for like next year as well.
Well, I guess the draft is technically this year. So,
Well,
even though it's 2022, but
the thing I love is for them to figure out how to get Austin Jackson, Liam, and Jesse Davis off the field immediately, so we can actually look respectable on offense, because they are holding us back big time.
well, I mean, that counts because we got free agency. We can get their asses off the field.
Uh,
So,
they need to
all
do
right.
whatever it takes. I can't stand this offensive line. The only players I can stand for somewhat is Robert Hunt and Michael Dieter. I can't stand the rest of these guys, bro. Like they just every time I see them, I get so pissed off because I
You know what's
know I
crazy,
know
bro?
they're gonna fuck up.
Did you see me on TD Finstock?
Yeah, I tried to hop up there the other day.
Oh yeah, you were backstage. I noticed that. Yeah, I think he's being selective. But anyways, um, bro, you kick Manskin to center, move Dieter back out to guard, and have Hunt at the other guard.
I've been saying that. I've been saying, listen, we
You're
gotta
good.
get
Your interior is at least okay for the rest of the year.
way better, and
Way
and
better
I
than
know
what you
they'd be
had.
able
You
to
get
run
Jackson out
block.
there. Because yo, honestly, whether you put Jackson or Eichenberg at left tackle, it don't matter. They're both gonna struggle.
Nah.
Where's the COVID kid, Logan? I saw you just backstage. Logan, you just disappeared, bro.
Well, I
Mark,
mean, hopefully, Herbert keep messing up because we need them to lose big time.
yeah, Marcus. Um, what would you want under the tree if the Dolphins could put something under there for you this year?
Um, I mean, aside from the obvious Super Bowl, I would like to see the Dolphins just exercise a little bit of patience, to not panic like we've seen them do so many times before and make some stupid rash decision over the offseason because they think they're this close and they just need a little, they just need that little bit of a push. When, to be honest, the way things have been going so far, the beginning of the season was a little disappointing, right?
Mhm,
A lot of disappointment.
mhm.
But I think they're still heading in the right direction. And I think to pull the cord or do something ridiculous, crazy, in my opinion, stupid, would just be it'd be same old Dolphins for me, and that's something I really was hoping we could avoid from this system. Was hoping we
Mhm.
could avoid from this staff. Seeing something like a Deshaun Watson trade where they throw a huge amount of picks away just to get a single player, or something like they fire the entire offensive staff, you know, and just try desperately to juggle some kind of something together. Like, that's what I don't want them to do. And if they can not do that, that would be a perfect Christmas present.
Practicing patience. Love it.
That'll never happen.
Logan, besides them finding a cure for COVID, what would you want them to put under the tree for you this year, bro?
Man, I just want them to stay healthy, dude. Just want them to stay healthy. That's what I want. I want them to stay healthy, and I want them to play hard. You know?
Bro, now you're getting greedy. You're asking for two things?
Yeah, no. Just, at least just stay healthy, man.
Come on, we can't ask for that.
No more
And expect the O-line to
COVID.
block well.
Yeah, no,
COVID
it's
shit,
ridiculous,
man.
bro.
No more COVID
Well, this
shit.
thing's exploding right now. Finn Sports, bro, what's going on, buddy? If you could have the Dolphins put one thing under the tree for you this Christmas, what would it be?
Dude, I want everyone healthy. I want Jaylen Waddle back. I want everyone just to be healthy, but just a dub, man. Let's just keep these wins rolling. Tua just going out there, doing what he does, elevating people around him, and let's just get these wins stacked up.
Dylan, if you could have one thing under the tree from the Dolphins this year, what would it be?
I'd like them to break another same old Dolphins habit, and we saw it last year. We've seen it time and time again when they need to win a game to get in. Like, even making it to 10-7, it's going to be hard to get in the playoffs. So, let the chips fall where they may after that, but just take care of business where you're supposed to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just let us down in that department so many times. So they kind of already screwed the pooch at the beginning of the year. Let's be real. But at the same time, down the stretch, they have a chance to at least have some of their destiny in their own hands. So let's see what they do with it.
Boys, I need a Herbert touchdown right now. I'm sorry. They can lose all they want, but I need fantasy here, so I need a Herbert touchdown.
It's so weird, bro. Like, I get Herbert has all them explosive plays, but every time I look at him, he's doing normal stuff. Like,
bro, it's because it's cherry picking to fit narratives. That's just how it goes. It's like everyone. I don't know if you saw when everyone was blown up about that throw that what's his face that Herbert made. They showed highlights. Tannehill was making the same throw back when he was a Dolphin. Like, here's my thing: people are getting caught up on stats. And then Tua starts putting up stats, and all of a sudden we're not caught up on stats anymore.
Oh, he almost had a touchdown.
How can you expect this kid to throw those bombs when we are scheming right now to get the ball out in 2.3 seconds? It isn't. You have the ball. You have 2.3 seconds to get the ball out. It's get the ball out in 2.3 seconds. Don't hold on to it because the play is going to break down, and especially when you're running the RPO, you can't have these long shots with the RPO because all your linemen will be downfield and you'll have a bunch of flags thrown your way. You can't do that. Like, we're not designed to do that right now. Like, people are just it's goalposts, man. It's goalposts. Like,
and they be in their emotions about it, and
I've highlighted multiple throws where Tua is making from 10 to 18 yards that are outside the numbers, or even up the middle where he's throwing into a tight window. He just doesn't do it a ton. Like, what's crazy is Tua is like 34th in attempts beyond 20 yards, but he's second in completion percentage of it on attempts beyond 20 yards. So go figure that out. So that tells you he doesn't push the ball very much down the field,
but he's accurate when he does.
He's number 2.
But see, and that's the thing though, is because with the kind of quarterback that Tua is, and similar to Breeze, right? Like, as his like ceiling or whatever, you don't need that, right? You just want him to be effective when he does do it. So you like to see the high completion percentage, but you don't need to do that if you have a quarterback back there that knows how to efficiently run the offense and be able to move the ball almost no matter what. And he's shown to be able to do that. So,
I mean, I'll put it this way: if Tua doesn't have elite accuracy, if Tua's accuracy was even better than average or good, like 68%, we don't move the ball at all with this offense because this offense relies on Tua's quick passing game to supplement a terrible run game and to allow the Dolphins to run a ball control, clock hogging offense, which is necessary when you have a really, really good defense. You want your offense to be on the field for 35, 40 minutes a game, but we can't do that with the run game. So how do we do that instead? We ask Tua to throw it 40 times a game. And most quarterbacks, you ask them to throw 40 times a game, they're not going to be able to give you that kind of offense. But Tua can because he's that accurate.
And when you're asking those guys to push it 40 times a game, you're asking them to push it downfield. You're asking him to push it
Like
40
Josh
times
Allen.
a game, but you want a certain percentage of those within 5 yards because you got to keep this. Like I said, we're still possessing the ball for over 30 minutes, yet we have no run game. Do you know how ridiculous
That's
that is?
absurd. No, it's absurd. It's absurd.
Like,
Herbert just scored.
Honestly,
I know Finn Sports wanted to add something. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
Sports,
just gonna add, like, I've said it on the podcast a couple times. Like, I don't really know what
Go
people
check out Finn
fetish.
Sports Football on Spotify and streaming platforms. Go ahead.
Herbert just scored.
But like I've said on the podcast, I don't really know what people's fetish is,
What's
or
up,
like
everybody?
why people like are obsessed with a guy being able to throw it really far. First of all, like, arm strength in the NFL is not how far you can throw it. It's being able to throw velocity outside the numbers is way more important. I've heard Aaron Rodgers has said that many times. Like, for like throwing a deep ball, we saw Ryan Tannehill do it all the time, and it's like, yeah, like if your quarterback can throw deep ball, like, I know Tua can throw the ball far. The dude could throw a football 40 yards by the time he was 13. But like, I don't know. Me personally, I'm more impressed with what Tua is doing now than if he went out and just threw 50-yard passes every game. Like, I mean, you just talked about it. 30 minutes plus every single game without a running game. And like, the dude is consistently having multiple drives with like 100% completion percentage or damn near close. He's throwing 30 plus times a game with like 75-80% completion percentage, and that's incredibly hard to do. Like, yeah, it's really cool to throw a 55-yard bomb. That's awesome. But what's even harder to do is to string together, 11, 12 passes like he did in the end of the second half, where he's just like on fire, like he can't miss a pass. That to me is just as impressive, if not more. And like, as a football community, we got to get over like being just obsessed with a guy throwing a football far versus.
Can I say something after you done?
Yeah, because you make a good point there, because when he did that too, he wasn't just, he was challenging on multiple levels when he was completing those too. He wasn't just within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. Within, like, look at what I've brought this up. When he starts getting the 2-minute drill, look at how accurate he is when he starts pushing the ball outside the numbers towards the sidelines. He did it in the Atlanta game, did it in the Jacksonville game. When you have to ask him in the last couple minutes to push the ball, he's accurate. I mean, he did it our last game with Parker outside the numbers. Like, the guy just finds his own. I mean, I've already thrown up the numbers. He is statistically the best fourth quarter quarterback and red zone quarterback since 1994. Like, when Steve Young was playing, when Dan Marino was playing, this guy is it. Like, I've been saying, like, he has that winning DNA, and part of that is in clutch moments, he doesn't get phased. Like, I'll still go back to it. You go back to the Atlanta game, and when I talked to EM after the game, we talked privately, and I said to him, and I pointed out when it happened up here when I was live reacting, the look on Tua's face after he threw that second interception, it looked like he was done. Like, oh crap, they're gonna trade me. I just turned the ball over with 2 bad picks. It's over. But then he comes and he gives you 2 key scoring drives in the fourth quarter and gives you the lead and says, oh, here you go, Brian Flores. Defense is your specialty. There you go. Like, even self-conflicted wounds don't phase Tua Tagovailoa, let alone outside noise. And it's crazy because that's really hard to do, man, to not have your confidence waver when your own team has given you every reason for your confidence to waver. Like, the mental aspect, playing quarterback, 90% of it is mental, man. And this kid is like as mentally tough as it comes. But go ahead, Pyro.
I just want to say that a good example of that, even in his rookie season, when he's coming off that hip injury, you look at. I know people are tired of us breaking it up, but you look at the Arizona game. This guy that was his second game in his career start, right? And he had go on the road at Arizona when they was red hot. Remind you. Now I know people can say, well, their defense isn't like theirs now, but you gotta look at this. This is NFL. and for you to ask this guy to, okay, our defense is struggling right now. Kyler Murray is running all up our, up and down us. We need you, kid, rookie. Remember, second career start in the NFL to answer and keep us in the game. And for that right there, that's just an early example of this kid showing you mentally he has it, man.
I mean,
He has the winning DNA, like Reason said.
somebody-
He has
if-
the winner's DNA.
if somebody tried to argue that he's not mentally tough at this point with everything he's had to go through, I mean, well, they can just F off with that shit because it just doesn't make sense. Like I've been through a lot of shit in my life, including having, people like gunning for me and stuff. So like I understand how that feels. And when you have your organization who supposedly picked you at 5 overall and think you're going to be the dude and whatever, to treat him in a lot of the ways that they have, and him still be able to come out here and perform despite the O-line they put in front of him, no run game, etc. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And power to him for being able to within himself navigate those types of emotions and feelings and shit, and come out stronger for it as opposed to allowing it to break him down.
I just find it just hypocrite that we all praise and granted he's earned it, but you praise Tom Brady and call him the GOAT, yet his bread and butter is short to intermediate passes.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, that's the whole Patriots offense is.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when you look at the game-winning touchdown in overtime was a fucking slant.
Yeah, but I think Grady's the greatest ever because of how clutch the guy is.
Yeah, he's clutch, but that's what I'm saying.
Ice cold, man.
Tua has shown the clutchness.
It certainly is.
And
but you know what the difference is? It's because he hasn't done it on a stage yet. When he starts doing it on a stage, that's when people will be like, "Oh crap!"
But he's still so young.
I agree.
One of the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean,
Marcus.
Brady needed time too.
Yeah.
Just saying, like whatever.
Yeah.
He won a
I
Super
mean,
Bowl
when
in
you're
his
in the
first year.
playoffs, literally every single year, it starts to lose some of that luster. It starts to become kind of mundane, and then you stop being affected by the bright lights as much because I've done this 15 years in my career. It's just another game to me, right?
Yeah, like the brightest lights he's had so far are primetime games, right? And the Raiders game was a difficult one to swallow last year. The Ravens game, he was killer this year. Gesicki is the one who disappeared.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see what he does on Monday night because
he'll be the only one there.
I don't think he hasn't played a Monday night game yet, right?
No, one of our games been flexed.
What?
No, he's talking about the Saints game on Monday.
Oh, the Saints. Okay.
Yeah, he never played
I didn't know it was flexed.
He's never played a Monday night game.
Tua's never played a Monday
night
game.
No, they didn't flex one of those games.
But I mean, he came off the bench in Thursday Night Football and put up half the points
Thursday
the
Night
team
Football,
had scored that entire game.
He played Thursday Night Football last year against the Raiders when he lost when Fitz came in and did that.
Well, and that was
Saturday Night Football.
Was it? I thought it was
the Thursday night game. Was
either way, though, it's a prime time slot or whatever.
And
we played the Raiders on a Saturday.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why
I remember that game.
The national narrative.
Oh, it was a Saturday. He's right. It was a Saturday
because he didn't play in the Jacksonville game. Fitz played that game.
That was the second game they benched him.
Yeah,
oh, the Saturday game, really?
Yeah.
No, the Jacksonville game.
No,
the Raiders.
No, are you talking about this year's Jacksonville or
last year? Last year's Jacksonville was on Thursday night, and Fitz.
Yeah, that was Fitz.
It was the Fitz versus Minshew. They're talking about the beard versus the hair and stuff.
The beard versus mustache.
Beard versus mustache thing.
Beard versus mustache. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot that Raiders game was a Saturday night.
Yeah, because I remember.
They need to flex the Pats game.
They flexed one of our games.
If that matters, they'll flex the Pats game if it matters.
Yeah.
If there's not another
18,
game for a division or something.
Yeah.
Because if the only consequence is Pats either get the 1 seed or the 2 seed and the Dolphins either make or don't make it, versus say the AFC West or whatever, it's down to the final game and it's who wins the division. That'll probably take precedent.
So reason question. So if how we perform on Monday night, that you'll
Yeah.
think that's
Nuance.
a reason why they'll flex the Pats game.
I like it.
No,
Like how we
no.
perform
I think
or-
you'd have to win out heading into the Pats game,
Okay.
and the Pats
Yeah.
would have
Go
to be
9-7.
the Pats would have to be like playing for home field advantage. Like the Pats are resting guys because they've already got it clinched up. Then you're screwed. If they're playing for home field and we're winning, we're in. That game should be flexed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be
All
honest.
right.
I kind of want that game to be for something because I don't want it to be like,
fuck
you
yeah.
know, oh, we won, but like, did you really win? I want to like know that we can
Are
beat
you-
the Patriots. At
So
full
you
form.
mean you instead of
Ethan,
like
week
if
one
we
or
were to
full form?
lose a game before the Patriots and it still really doesn't mean anything even if we manage to beat them kind of thing? Like you don't want that to happen? Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounds like. Because
No,
like
I'm
if, we're-
saying I
if
want
we
the
lose a game
Patriots-
before then it might not mean anything either way because we might.
No,
already be out of
I'm
the
talking
playoffs.
about for the Patriots. I want the game to mean something for them, so
Oh,
that
for
way
them. Oh, no,
they're
hell
on
no.
their A game.
Yeah.
Well, I get that. Well, okay, I totally get that, and I'm usually one of those people
Dylan,
that
you
says,
scared? You
you
scared?
know, no. But
Bro.
we're talking because we're
If
talking.
we're winning, we're in. I want them resting people. I ain't trying to
Yeah,
have
exactly.
heart
Like,
palpitations on
look,
YouTube, bro.
don't get me wrong. Like,
I had a heart
I'm
palpitation
generally,
with the news
dude,
about Waddle.
Pyro, I'm generally the guy that's like, I want a good competitive game, et cetera, even amongst my division rivals. However, in the circumstance, if we're 9-7 and we have to beat the Patriots,
Fair
I mean,
enough.
what did I ask for Christmas, bro? I want them to handle their business. So yeah, I want them to go into and the easiest chance
It
we
sounds like
have
you
if
in
we're
this hole,
keeping it
Dylan.
real. No. What I'm saying is our easiest chance for sure would be if they, end up
I get
resting
you, I
a bunch
get
of
you, I get
guys because they already
I
have the
get you.
number 1 seed locked up.
I
Come on,
get you.
Daniel. I thought you said, always want a tough game. I remember you saying that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I literally just said it now.
I don't know.
I'm a very whatever, bro.
Flip-flopping.
People
I
don't
get
like
that,
the,
but
people
I
don't like the
also-
nuance word, but I believe a lot of different things
I'm
simultaneously.
just giving you a hard time.
I like how Chargers fans say how nonchalant that they have Eckler is. Fuck that shit. Look at this. Look at this. Man's just
Eckler?
absolutely beasting right now.
If
Oh no,
If we do end
Eckler's
up-
is nobody.
John,
Herbert
what's
doesn't
going on,
need no
buddy?
running back.
Nothing much. Just living life. I'm on winter break already.
If you could have
So
one
I'm
thing
at
under the tree
college.
from the Dolphins, what would you want? And you can't
For
say
our young
playoffs.
Well, yeah. For our young developing rookies to go further into their development stages.
Get
And
more
I guess
rookie
that includes
records,
Tua. Yeah, that includes Tua because he's still young. So yeah, I want them to develop more.
All I know is I'm about to get a second Herbert touchdown right here, baby. Let's go,
Well, then
Did
they'll
you-
take
who do you
the
throw
lead,
it to?
though.
Do you throw
Bro,
it to?
dude. The Chiefs are never out of any game. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He can
as
throw
long
for
as the
400,
Chiefs win
4
this
touchdowns
game-
and an interception and still lose.
Overall, we need the Chiefs
Well, I'm
to
playing
win.
against Patrick Mahomes, so I hope he doesn't do that.
Ideally, we need
I
the
know
division
Patrick
leaders
Mahomes
to
Hey,
just win out,
looking
and
off
everybody
today.
else
I
to
don't
lose.
care
I
about
don't care.
anyone's
Just, you know,
fantasy
Travis
game. I would
Kelce
rather
touchdown,
the
dude.
Chargers lose this game and make it easier for us to get into playoffs. Like I don't care if it means you lose a fantasy game. Like no offense, but Dolphins matter more.
Yeah, it's priorities, bro. It's priorities.
I don't care either way.
Yeah, I literally just said this guy can put up 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and still lose.
I
the
mean, it's
Chiefs.
pretty evenly matched right now.
The thing is, Herbert has Mahomes numbered since he's entered the league. He flashed it last year, and then now this year when he beat him earlier, they whipped them too.
Oh, I told you. I
Yeah.
said.
Well, I mean, the
it's-
Chiefs have never had a great defense either.
Yeah, they're
They're
top
pretty
heavy.
good.
They're
Man,
top
you
heavy.
Yeah,
are
but,
way
yo,
ahead
they're
of me in
pretty
this
good.
game.
Herbert, I'm surprised he threw an interception early because Herbert finds
Well,
another
that was-
gear when he
I
faces
that
just saw
was
the
that
ball.
off a deflected pass at the line of scrimmage.
I just saw that touchdown.
This guy finds another gear against Mahomes. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell you every time.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. Give me that. And I was gonna bring it up too. Here's the thing too. Look at I heard Charger fan. Oh well, he's got to throw to a guy like Joshua Guyton. Well, you know what? Joshua Guyton stayed healthy for 2 years, and
Thank
he's
you.
turned into a consistent target.
Thank
It's
you.
better than a lot of what we got.
What do we have over here? None of these guys can. And then when they do stay healthy, they get consistent. They get hit with COVID.
Dude,
Hey,
Hey,
Reason,
or reason they dropped the freaking ball.
Reason, are you gonna
Jimmy,
do
I'm surprised no one said this. I'm actually shocked.
a running
no
game?
one said that.
That's a stretch.
You
That's
never
a real
asked
big
me.
wish.
You never asked me.
No,
Well, I've got
so,
other things I
Reason,
want, but I want to leave room
are-
for other people.
now that you've been doing
guys never asked me. I would've said it.
jabroni of the week, are you gonna do a jabroni of the year?
Chris
Yeah,
I
Sims
should.
is jabroni.
Yeah, dude.
My 2021 recap.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Sims is
you know,
jabroni
one
of the century,
one candidate for that I'm gonna throw
Chris
in the hat
Sims.
is the wide receiver room. No, I mean Chris Sims, sure, okay, you know that's
No, you know what?
that's
Nah,
obvious.
I got a better one for you,
But
Dylan.
add in the
I got a
wide
better one
receiver
for you,
room as a
Dylan.
candidate.
What's John Pierre? Yeah, he'll go.
Yeah,
Well-
Lemieux Jean-Pierre.
Lemire Jean Pierre.
I mean,
Needs to go in there.
to be
COVID
fair,
Pepe Le
might, win,
Pew?
COVID might be winning jabroni of the week this week. though.
yeah, to be fair, well, especially since it was the bye week. Jesus Christ, worst timing. Anyway, but to be fair to Lemmy Lem, like he is still a young coach. I mean, he could eventually
No,
develop. He
Dylan,
could
screw that.
eventually. No,
Screw
no,
that.
hold on. I'm just
Screw
saying
that.
it'll probably take him having to go to a different system with a better overall infrastructure for that to happen, but it's still possible.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone who
Reason,
tells
can-
me they would have kicked Tristan Wirfs to guard, you're out of the league, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Well, maybe it's not
He
possible. I don't know.
might have put Sewell at guard too.
People just call me negative, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to
That's
be
why I
nice.
said
Like, come
Sewell.
on.
That's why I said on TDs, man. Who's to say Sewell would have even worked out here, bro? Did you see
Oh,
Sewell
yeah,
was the
for sure.
highest? Penei
Yeah.
Sewell was the highest graded lineman last week. Put up like a
Dylan.
92 grade.
Dylan,
Reason.
you can be negative
Yeah.
when it's warranted, but
Ever since he whooped
we'll throw out that positivity.
Aaron
when
Donald's
it's not
ass, he's been on fire. That kid, bro.
Yeah.
So
What's
Hey,
going
man,
on,
Creed
John? You're gonna
Humphrey-
ask something. Go
Creed
ahead, bro.
Humphrey, bro. Killing
John.
I
go-
don't think. Oh, go ahead. Whoever was going to go.
Yeah, John was gonna ask something. Go ahead. John.
This is on like just a joking manner, but can you tell your boy Herbert to throw it to Keenan Allen and Mike
Isn't
Williams,
Keenan out?
please?
Yeah,
No, he got back.
Oh,
I
they
have him
came
in
back?
fantasy. I have him.
You
fantasy.
started both of them?
Didn't
Yeah.
Mike Williams go down?
Oh, you're crazy, bro.
It was
Right.
a
Well,
never
I have two
two on the
teams, and
same
I have
team.
one on each
Oh,
team.
okay. I thought you were on
Oh,
the same
I thought it
team.
was
I was
No,
like,
no,
you're
no.
nuts, bro.
Yeah.
No.
You see, this is why I don't play fantasy.
Nah, man, fantasy is awesome. I love it.
Dude, I got
Maybe one
I
day.
mean,
Talk
teach their
crap
own.
all
I need-
day, every day.
I need
I got
Mahomes to be
Cooper Cup,
Mahomes.
man. I got
Bro,
Cooper Cup. He is
Cooper
just
Cup is
clutch for
fucking
me.
stupid.
Dude, I have
I'm number one
Stafford
in my
and
league right
Cooper
now.
Cup on the same team. They've been
Okay.
carrying.
That guy is ridiculous right now. Like,
Yeah.
I
I only
love
lost
Cooper.
2
He's
games,
awesome.
12-2.
how are you already at like almost 110 catches?
That's ridiculous.
Like, what
It's
the hell is
ridiculous,
that?
man. He's a good target.
Nasty. That boy, nasty.
Dude, that guy's ridiculous.
I wish we had
man.
Cooper Cup.
And what pisses me off, in
Yeah,
so
give us
many
Cooper
drafts
Kupp for
this year, I
Christmas.
had this guy in the middle of the rounds just staring me in the face, and I always passed him up.
Who was my third
Mm.
wide receiver that I picked?
I think it was my
a good
first
pick.
because I'm a huge believer in Stafford, so I think I picked him first.
Like, no one picked. I was like, why isn't anybody picking this guy? And I was like, he's mine.
Dude, that guy's just stupid,
That was
bro.
such a good pick. And then all my running backs had COVID or they were injured. And I picked up Rashad Penny at 12:59.
Dude, how many yards is he gonna put up? The guy's played 13 games. He's already put up 1,489 yards.
Who got 1,489 yards?
Cooper Cup!
Cooper Cup.
Oh my
does.
god!
He's already caught 113 footballs, bro.
He's
Jesus Christ.
He's number one in the
Dude.
league in reception.
He might
Been
go for
targeted-
2,000.
He's already been targeted 151 times.
He's killing
What was
it.
the most
Look at my-
yards in a season?
My fantasy points
that
from him
Moss?
average over 20 points
Then-
every
then
single week.
They need to check his Gatorade bottle.
Some of the weeks I got over 30 points. Like he's,
Our receivers.
I
need
mean,
to
he's
get what he got.
obviously like the centerpiece of that offense.
Nah, he's juicing. He's juicing. Got to be.
So
Juicing.
the
No
record
way.
is 2012. The record is 2012. 1,964 yards by Calvin Johnson.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Never been a 2K yet, huh?
I have
Nope.
Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, and Cooper Cup. That's my wide receivers.
What?
That's
Whoa,
ridiculous.
bro.
That's why I'm number one right now. Fucking crazy.
What the
What's
Chiefs
my
do about
12
plays?
or 10-2 team?
And I've been,
lucky.
I've
Hope
been
your team gets
rocking.
COVID.
Y'all
Yeah,
just
that's
saw
my
what the
top
Chiefs
man.
did. They steal our plays.
All my running backs did
Ouch.
get COVID though. I mean, I had to make a last minute decision. That Rashad Penny was a clutch move.
They just did a little tight end sneak
26
on 3rd and 1.
No, the move that everyone made off the waiver wires this year that was
we're gonna
key
take that play.
was all the people who picked up Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, I didn't pick.
We
I
did
was
that
not
play
Because
first,
a lot of
Pyro?
people,
do that.
a lot of people didn't even draft that guy. He was
Tell
on
you, man.
waiver wires.
Miami's defense been doing it for me too.
Damn, I'm gonna lose this week in the playoffs. That sucks.
I'm starting them again against the Jets. They gave me 23 points against
Probably a good
Carolina.
choice.
18 points against
Someone
Baltimore.
shut down Hill.
I'm telling you,
Same
we
against
need.
Houston.
Hey, Z man, we got to steal that.
We did it first.
I'm just saying, keep using it.
Oh, true. Yeah. We do
That's
it with
different.
Smythe all the
You said
time.
steal it first.
Stormware, reason that no one has had more injuries I've had. Bro, I'm in 4 leagues. I have Christian McCaffrey in 3 of them. Don't even talk to me about injuries right now, bro.
I'm sorry, Reese. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ. And one of them's a dynasty league.
Y'all
What's
saw
that
that,
mean?
man.
Does that mean like you keep all your players?
We keep like 18 of them. So my 2 quarterbacks in that dynasty league are Herbert and Russell Wilson.
Russell's been
My
stinking
team,
out
I've
this
just been
year.
putting up with injuries. Like I have
Russell
Antonio
hurt,
Brown. Antonio Brown's been huge this year when he played, but he's missed everything because of COVID, then being suspended, and
He's an
like,
idiot for that.
yeah,
For
he's a
the fake
dumbass.
vaccine card.
I see he doesn't.
James
that
Robinson,
didn't change.
they decide to fire Urban Meyer 1 week before my playoff start, and James Robinson's been suffering all year because of Urban Meyer. Ridiculous.
I hope he keeps suffering so we can get him for cheap.
No,
Yeah.
he's not going to get moved now.
They ain't gonna make that.
Hey, you offer the right pick. They might move
They
him.
got
Unless
1
he
year
wants
left
to
on
be.
their UDFA deal. They'll let him and Etienne be a complimentary backfield next year, and then they'll make the decision on Etienne, and they'll either get a compensatory pick or let James Robinson walk. Watch.
I would have loved James Robinson to come here.
I'm so pissed off. We lost
Honestly,
to
there's
that
guys
asshole.
in the draft that take over him.
I hate that we lost to the Jags.
Yeah, man, I'm so mad.
Bro, what a joke. Who gets fired like at
How you get
midnight?
fired
Has
on your
anybody
day
ever?
off?
Like that was
Exactly.
Has
13
anybody ever done
games.
that? Has
How you get
anybody
fired
ever
on your
got
day
fired
off?
like that?
I think the previous record was probably the Arizona coach that got fired after 1 year.
But he didn't
That
play
was
a
a
whole
couple
year.
years ago. Huh?
He didn't play a whole year, so like, is this the first time this ever happened? Or he
13
didn't coach?
games in 13 games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the previous record. I don't know, but I think the previous record was
I'll
after
look
the
it up.
Well, you
first
can go
the
back
first
to grind
season.
with the girls again.
I don't know if there's ever been anything shorter than that.
Somebody's got.
Oh, have you heard what he said about his coaching staff?
There's no way that's a fumble.
Yeah.
yeah, he had a better
What
coaching
if I-
staff at
There's
Bowling
no
Green.
way.
Yeah.
What?
Bro, I was up yesterday and I
I
was
mean,
like,
doesn't
I got the notification at like 12:30. I'm like, who the hell gets fired at 12:30? This is ridiculous. There's only
Yeah, it
one
was
other coach.
12:30
There's only
in the
one other coach that's been fired within 13 games before.
I mean, it's so weird because, like, I don't know. Either he's just that much of an idiot and like didn't think that people
I
were
hope
gonna
it's
pay
fun. I'm
attention
playing
or
against this
whatever.
guy.
I think
but,
he
like,
wanted to get fired. Because
well, but that's
of
that's
all the colleges hiring right now, he wanted to go back to college.
well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. But like, why even
Looks
take
like
the
a fumble
job to
to me.
begin with if you're not gonna
Because he
like?
didn't know it was going to be as hard as it was. He didn't know that it was going to be more of a grind than college. That's what he did not realize that. And now he's seeing what it is, and he wants out. He
I mean,
wants to save his
how could you?
reputation,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
that's
wants
a
to go.
throw.
He's
Yeah.
going to
he
go and
just
try and
killed
get.
it.
He's either going to be an analyst this year, or he's going to go and try and get a college job to redeem himself.
I don't know how
That's a
you
throw.
could go from
That guy will be
you know,
That guy will be coaching a good university by
Oh, yeah.
by the end of next year.
So
Like,
there's
I-
another. So there's another coach who's been fired after 13 weeks, and it's Bobby
Yeah, there's only
Petro
one. Yeah,
with the
well,
Falcons.
Petro.
he tied a record then. Huh?
yeah,
yeah.
he
Yeah.
tied a record.
I don't know. It just like I don't know how you could assume. Like I get it. I guess some of these guys are just like arrogant and think their shit doesn't stink. But like, I don't know how you could think that it wouldn't be a harder thing to move from college to the professional.
It's just
like,
ego, bro.
It's
He got
yeah,
everything
I
in
mean,
college.
It's
Mm,
got to
good.
be. It's got to just be ego. So
Probably
Saban
shouldn't
did the same thing.
Probably
Carroll,
shouldn't
go
pick
look at
his
Pete Carroll's
players.
first
I mean,
coaching stint. He did the same thing.
clown.
It's probably not. a
People
good
think
look.
Pete Carroll just only coached at Seattle. People
Yo,
forget
did,
what his time in
Kicking
Mahomes
your
Miami.
fumble
field goal
that?
kicker's leg.
Yeah,
He
they
does
think
that.
they're at the top of the college
They gave him
ranks,
a
so that
fumble.
way the NFL will be
They say it was
easy.
a fumble.
Plus, the thing
Yeah,
is
it's a fumble.
too, a lot of these guys have problems handling players because they treat them like they're the kids, and you can't do that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Grown-ass
Well, that's
adults.
yeah. I mean, a lot of from college, like when they're in college, they're just young, impressionable kids, and they just get to boss them around, tell them what to do. Everything's their way or the highway, and it's a lot different in the NFL. Yeah.
Twitter about to
No, man, you
Look at-
20
look at-
some
look
years
at-
old. I don't consider you a kid anymore. You know,
You see that throw Herbert just made?
I do.
Yeah.
Most
She's a young
most
Remind me of
people
Tua.
most people, yeah, but I think of it from like a maturity standpoint. A lot of 20-something-year-old,
remind
like
you of
early
Herbert.
20-something-year-old kids are not particularly that mature.
Obari, yes, Mike Williams is a free agent after the season. Like I've said before, he's everything we hoped Devontae Parker turned into.
Definitely in every aspect of the game.
That guy's a beast.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at that. Back shuttle, just like Tua.
If
It
only.
sucks that Parker's gonna leave this year because he's good when he gets on the field. It's just
Oh man,
Man,
when can he
we
get on
need
the
him.
field?
Him and Gesicki better show up this weekend. That's all.
Boy,
Yeah, they
I
have
mean,
to.
look, Parker's gonna end up leaving after this season and then go somewhere and finally put together like
I got a question.
full
Reason
season.
did they elevate Kirk Merritt?
No,
No.
not yet.
God,
They
fucking
haven't. Really?
damn it.
Jesus.
I'm worried. Like it's still Thursday. There's still a few more days to go, so I hope we don't get no more.
He
At
will
least
be
we got
my Waddle.
Parker.
He will be my Waddle replacement.
Parker's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
they're
good
gonna
on the
wait
field.
and see how if they can get any of these guys turned over with the new protocols. That's what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see anyone else added on.
Knock on wood.
Dude.
Knock on wood.
If it's Tua, I'm not even gonna watch the game. Well,
That would suck because
That
we
would
have
suck.
to play Jacoby, and he sucks.
I know.
Y'all
Still-
stop. Knock
dude.
on fuck God.
I got wood
Here,
right here, man.
Wood right- I'll
Oh
knock on
come
wood.
on,
There you go.
Pyro!
It's gonna happen regardless.
You've
It's
been one of
not
the
'cause I
most
said it.
like.
Hey
You
man,
know.
I'm in the hole, but shit, I'm gonna keep going deeper.
You know,
You already
know what would
did.
be really
You
great
can't
is
come
if
out
we
with
had
that,
another
man.
guy.
You're
You're one of
stuck
the
in
largest
there.
One at a
Protagonist
time.
was
One at a
also-
time. One at a time.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say it would be really nice if we had another like really speedy guy who we could turn to. Maybe a guy who's well developed, got decent routes and stuff. Someone like I don't know a Will Fuller, if he was on the team.
Well, we have Kirk
It would
Merritt,
be
but we don't
nice.
use him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's got to be a reason if he's not making it onto the field with this receiving core. Like,
Well,
I
the
don't
reason
know.
why he didn't
Maybe
play
the
last
coaching
year was
staff
because
just
his
sucks.
route tree wasn't well developed now, and so after a year, you would think that he would be okay, but I guess not.
I don't know. All I know is
Well,
if
I know
Waddle
they
can't
keep
make the
elevating.
game,
They keep elevating Ford because they
He's
trust
smart.
Ford
His
because
brains.
they drafted him first of all, and second of all, apparently the guy's really smart. So
Yes,
and knows the playbook really well.
Shout out to him on that touchdown.
Yeah, shout out to Ford.
Yeah. Hey, whatever, man. He's
whatever works.
he lingers. He lingers on you.
It's gonna be the Ford.
He
coming out
always
party.
drops that ball.
Cooks had a
though.
walking touchdown
Yeah.
and dropped it.
He's the streaky
Who
player.
did?
Jared
Who did it?
Cooks walking.
Oh,
Oh,
I have him in fantasy too.
I mean,
I think that's why.
I can't believe that
Ford's
guy's still
frustrating.
kicking around.
I'm at
Jesus.
least
Bro,
a play
it-
behind.
They make
Yeah, he's
they
been around
honestly
forever.
they make it seem
Wow,
like
he just
Herbert is
dropped that
doing
ball?
so
What the
much
hell was
crazy
that?
crap every time I
Maybe
watch the
two.
game. He's just doing
He
normal
threw it
stuff.
out of his hands.
Whatever.
After he got it.
I don't care about any of that. I don't like.
You know the reason
honestly,
why,
bro,
Z man. You know.
Yeah, 87. He just threw the ball.
Yeah.
The problem is its initial narratives are so powerful because that's how they inform their opinions. If Tua had either not played his first full year or he played the entire first year, the narratives would have been very different. You wouldn't have had the benching narrative. You wouldn't have had all this stuff. If Herbert hadn't quite balled out the way he did, it doesn't matter because these people in the national media, they can't focus on every team. They can focus on maybe one or two of the top teams or a few of the top players, right? But they don't know the situation that's going on in Miami, in LA, or in any of the teams, right?
Yeah.
So they
And-
have to base their their opinions on whatever the narrative is, right?
Yeah.
And the narrative is
Robert-
that Herbert's a good quarterback. So they base their opinion on, oh, he's a good quarterback. Well, this must have just been a bad game, you know?
They're like
So-
first of all, that draft class is
Why are they- okay.
all three of the top guys taken are good quarterbacks. They're all just asked to do different things. A, B, people seem to forget we had the sexy stats, we had the records. What the hell did that bring us? That brought us
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing.
Like I've said this before, I'll say it again. I have a buddy whose profession is gambling. He has an efficiency database he's created for quarterbacks for his betting system. Efficiency is what wins games and wins championships. Stats, you know what I mean? What do you want? A guy who throws 20 touchdowns in the playoffs but turns the ball over 10 times? Or do you want a guy who throws 10 touchdowns and turns it over once? You know what I mean? Efficiency is what
Latter
you're going to
half.
win because especially when other opposing defenses in the playoffs start taking away your strengths, you got to be even more careful because your room for you're already right now. Think of it. Already, you're seeing on this 5-game winning streak. When we went to 1-7, our margin for error is like 0.8%.
The Chargers is shit.
Why
It's
the
like
fuck are they going for it?
it's 0.8%. When you get in the playoffs, your margin for error is 0. And people need to realize that. See, this is what
'Cause it's one and done, baby.
my whole thing is. Tua's been in. Last I've checked, the last 4 starts are all playoff situations. You can't afford
yeah.
to lose any of the game.
100%.
Just like the playoffs, you lose, you're done, you're going home. If you lose
Yeah.
in one of these,
Here's
I
another thing.
know there's a random
Go ahead.
scenario where we can actually, there's still
Make
a
it 9-8
scenario
or whatever. Yeah.
and
No, we can win the
win
division.
everything. Then that's never gonna happen. Okay, so
We can make it in a
I mean,
9-8
like,
somehow.
all you got to do is handle your business, win out, and increase your. Because I
That's what
think
I
even
want.
if you
Yeah.
straight up win out, our percentage only goes up to like 76% or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is a scenario where we
Yeah,
cannot
it's
make
not
it.
even like fully
It's not
blown if you
guaranteed.
win out.
There
so
are
Chargers are
a
idiots.
number of scenarios where if
All
we
you
go
gotta
10-7, we still don't make it in the playoffs. So
all you got to do is
Yeah, because there's a bunch
continue-
of scenarios where like 5 teams go 10-7.
Yeah, you just got to keep doing your job. You just got to handle what you control. You are the controller of your own destiny in terms of whether you win or lose, whether you make the playoffs. You are no longer the controller of your own destiny because of losses to teams like the Jaguars, the Falcons, the Raiders, and the
Yeah.
Colts. And
yeah.
that's
Well,
just
And that's
that's
fine.
why
This is
that's
their
where it
why
is right now.
Yeah, that's why they kind of screwed the pooch already because of that 1-7 and some of those losses. But that's why for me, the present I'd like is just to do something they haven't done, and down the stretch, just take care of the business that you have in front of you that you can control. You know, and then because then you've given it all you got. You know what I'm saying? And you left nothing. You know, nothing was left off the field. It's all out there. You know, blood, sweat, and tears. So let's see it
mean,
happen, man.
They
If we
just
can win down
Oh,
the
sorry.
stretch in convincing fashion, even if we don't make the playoffs, I'll still be happy. I wonder if it's still going to be like panic mode for the organization if they miss the playoffs, because I don't know what Ross is thinking of this staff. If he's thinking about doing another reset, which I would be
not
against,
going
but
to.
I'm not Ross,
They're not going to reset it.
so
No,
I don't know.
I don't think he's.
They've
I don't
earned it.
even think Ross is going to do that at this point. And I've been one of the people who's, for the longest time, said it was going to happen. It's just that the fact patterns to me seem to have changed, and we'll see how everything plays out, in the off season. But I think,
Okay.
I mean, my opinion is that I think that in
So-
part they're going to have their jobs because of the Watson stuff. I do think they are going to take another swing at that. But we'll see.
Okay.
Whatever, man. We'll see.
I want
All right,
that.
let's
We'll
go
see
through
what
some-
happens with Watson.
Let's go through some final thoughts. Z-Man, let's start with you, buddy.
well, Justin Herbert is average, not average. He's a good quarterback.
Nah, speak what you
He
want.
looked all right in a couple throws. That throw that was supposed to be a walk-in touchdown, it was a little bit off. I don't really got much to say about the Dolphins since we haven't really played yet, and I feel like we're gonna be all right regardless of who we put out there. Because I mean, it's not like we had star receivers before. This is just another Tuesday. Another
I
Tuesday
mean,
in Dolphin
we have
land.
one, and he's got COVID right
Marcus.
now.
Oh yeah, one. Yeah.
Marcus, your final thoughts.
Well, since nobody else asked for it, I would also if possible, from the Dolphins, like a strong start next year. That would be a wonderful Christmas present to get. I would hopefully like to end the first half of the season with a winning record, maybe 2 or 3 above our loss total. So that would be a good thing to have. But yeah, I think overall, Waddle and Holland being out is the only thing that really concerns me for the Jets game. It's a good thing it's the Jets, but also, I mean, still division opponents. We did struggle against them last time. Now, I do think part of that was because Joe Flacco is an experienced quarterback who was able to navigate our blitz defense a little bit easier. And I don't think Zach Wilson is going to be able to do that as well. But still, it does worry me because so much of our offense goes through Wilson. And Holland, of course, he's the quarterback of the defense. He's our free safety. So fingers crossed. But I think if we can pull this out and we can get everybody back and no more COVID scares for the rest of the year, I think we stand a good chance of winning out.
Pyro, your final thoughts.
I'm just gonna keep mine short. Wild for on Christmas is split with the Bills because I fucking hate Josh Allen and their fans. And to be real with you, everybody freaking out that all running backs got COVID. Who gives a shit? And like we had to begin with. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Fins up.
He fins. I would rather take someone that's accurate. Accuracy is gonna get you places. If you're strong arm but you're not accurate, what good is your arm to me?
I agree.
Dylan, your final thoughts.
Not to mention, just real quick, arm strength does typically tend to fade with quarterbacks as they do get older. So longevity-wise, it actually is a more benefit to be accurate as opposed to arm strength. Anyway, thanks for having me. It was fun. Yeah, I want them to stay, hopefully not, have any more issues with COVID. Let's, keep it to what it is. Hopefully we can get these guys back just 1 week at a time. You know what I want for Christmas, so it is what it is. Let's just see how it goes the rest of the way, man. A few more weeks, so fins up.
Logan, your final thoughts.
Yeah, with Holland being out, I'm a little worried. I hope they don't, stop being aggressive on defense, just so they don't have their whole secondary out there. So we'll see. And then Waddle and Parker are definitely going to have to step up. Or sorry, not Waddle. Gesicki and Parker are going to have to step up with Waddle being out. So hopefully they can do that and no more COVID on our team. Man. So fins up.
John, your final thoughts, buddy.
Thank you for having me on, Reason. It was a pleasure, as always. Let's just hope we can stay healthy for the rest of the season. Obviously, it's hard with COVID because it's just a contagious disease. Yeah, fins up.
All right, guys. Here's the deal. I'll be back tomorrow night, and we will preview the Jets and the Dolphins. Hopefully, leading up to that, there's no more bad news in terms of COVID, because it's one thing when it starts hitting depth pieces or even the running back room because we don't use them. But now stars are starting to be hit like Holland and Waddle. And, I mean, if anyone watched us on TD Fins Talk a couple of days ago, I mean, I don't know if everyone saw our reaction when TD told us that Tua got hit. But if something like that were to happen, I mean, it's one thing to go into this game with Tua. It's another thing to have to go in with a guy like Jacoby Brissett.
Of course he would do that.
I'm just hoping everyone can stay healthy. Hopefully we can get some of these players
back.
And they're asymptomatic and they can just turn around with the new rule about the 24 hours, the single test and then the rapid test in a 24-hour span. I mean, hey, the NFLPA signed off on it, so they got to live with the consequences of it. But
yeah.
All right, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow night around 8:30. Until then, everyone stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Fins up all day, every day.
Hit the like button.
Peace.